Start your saving and growth of your life with Basing Catholic Cooperative Bank. हे नातं विश्वासाचं.
Speak up, even if your voice shakes. Speak up if you want to change the world. And you can speak well if you can deliver the message of your heart. Presenting before you the participants of our elocution competition.
You are Jallosh, you are Jallosh, you are Jallosh. Whoa. Vanch ha युवकांचा, हा सोहळा युवदर्शनचा सदा.
Greetings everyone. As we all know that this month is declared as Mental Health Awareness Month because it is a need of the hour. A popular saying, health is wealth, gives a large meaning to our life, as health is very precious and important for every individual. Good health does not mean the absence of disease from a body, but a complete physical, mental, social and spiritual well-being of an individual. We take great care of our physical health, have a good social and spiritual life. But what about our mental health? We consider mental health to be over-dramatic, but is similar to any other physical injury. We have pictured mental health to be an unrealistic problem. It's high time now that we talk about it and realize its importance. In today's time when the entire world is suffering under a deadly virus, where people are losing their lives every day, we are so concerned about our health. Yet, we ignore the important aspect of health, our mind. Coronavirus pandemic has completely changed the circumstances in which we live. People are dying every day. Frontline workers like doctors are confined to the same routine for endless long hours. Children cannot go out and play. Youngsters and adults can't meet their families and friends like before. All of this has a huge impact on a person's mind. As far as patients are concerned, since there is so much that has been spoken about coronavirus, and with the growing number of deaths related to COVID-19, there is a constant fear of losing lives in the patient's mind. Patients are scared. They have lost their battles against COVID in their mind long before their body has physically given up. According to World Health Organization, every 1 in 7 individuals suffers from some sort of mental health problem in India. Therefore, addressing the lack of awareness, accessibility and infrastructure related to mental health is very important. According to a survey, suicidal tendencies and self-harm cases have increased in this lockdown. All of this indicates that talking about mental health is definitely in need of the hour in today's scenario. I strongly recommend that we must be considerate towards others, talk to them, reach out to the people whom we know, or consult medical help whenever required. As we continue to live in a global pandemic, we need a movement against mental health perhaps now than we have ever needed it before. We must think about our mental health and that of others. We need to invest in health services. The magnitude of mental health burden around the world is not being matched by the amount of investment it requires. The extraordinary rise in the needs of mental health issues must be added with the challenges of COVID-19. It is fine to feel scared, stressed, or confused in the time of crisis, but we need to reach out to people who can help us. Remember, mental health is not a filmy concept or something to be ashamed of. It is just like any other physical injury and need to be dealt with care. It is high time now that we must start talking openly about mental health problems and consider it as a health issue. As a final word, I would like to say that we have a threefold responsibility towards the future of mental health in our nation: spreading awareness, creating sensitivity within us, and building preventive approach to be able to reach out to every section of the community. Thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy.
A very good day. I, Miss Millicent Pereira from Jyoti Parish, present myself to talk on the topic implications of online education. Online education has always generated great excitement, a topic of debate and great curiosity. But due to increasing innovation, it has been clear that the teaching in classroom is not that suitable with respect to the modern paradigm. But what is the solution in this global pandemic, in the midst of the lockdown, where students are scattered all over the country, all over the cities? Many educational institutions are completely shut down. 1.2 billion of students are out of school. What is the solution of this? Here, online education, digital educations, or many such platforms have proved to be a boon, where teaching is continued, students learn their subjects, and syllabus is completed on time. The flexibility offered in the online education is quite impressive, which means you can study with whoever you want, wherever you want, at your own pace, at your own time, which gives you time to spend with your family and your loved ones. The instructor or the facilitator is made 24 hours and 7 days a week available to you. The only reason that you give for not attending a class is not coming online, or else everything is made available to you. The set of lifelong learning in online education is very, very vast. For example, a person who's not that acquainted with the technological skill, or say is not that techno savvy, learns to email an assignment, serve some information on the net, learns to give presentation, which involves lot of boosting of confidence and eradication of stage fears. It prepares you to flap those wings and step out into the real world rather than just a real world. But there is no way around where we can compare online education to learning in the classroom. Perhaps we have always been comparing apples and oranges. Both are different fruits, both are healthy, and both are good for you, but are different to taste. Online education, on the other hand, are subjected to procrastination, or say internet-based crisis, which involves cyberbullying, hacking, and many such issues. It may also create strain on your eyes, improper postures, and back strains. The sense of self-isolation in online education, where nobody knows your discomfort, nobody knows where you're screaming, nobody knows what doubts you have. Also, studying without your study buddy. Just imagine that. Also, the online education, the things that comes into the picture is that computer level of knowledge, that is, the facilitator and the students should have little or minimum level of computer knowledge. But in a situation or country like India, where 50% of the population don't even have internet access, this seems to be a challenge. Online education is like learning swimming classes online and directly diving into a 12 feet deep water body. Learning online and classroom education are like two different sort of poles, where they are different from each other, and they can be used as some techniques for some crisis like COVID-19 situations. Online education should be looked as an alternative for classroom education, which involves personal touch and should never be replaced by classroom education. Thank you. Last but not the least, I would like to say, stay safe, maintain social distancing, get yourself vaccinated, and still wear mask. Thank you.
Mental health awareness, the need of the hour. Strength is what we gain from the madness we possess, and this requires us to work in that direction in our early stages of our life. But many times we fail to recognize these things. Parents and guardians play an important role in developing children's minds in the right direction, in the right ethics, in the right code of conduct. But at times we see a lot of things going around which needs not to be done. We have been hearing a lot of suicide cases in India, which is continuously increasing year by year. It has been recorded that average suicide per day in India is 381 people who end their lives out of depression, trauma that they suffer. Some people trigger them, bully them, or many love conflicts, interest also. But do we realize and contemplate that we also play a small part in it, and how we play a small part in it? It is the mentality what a certain section of society carry with themselves, and this mentality is being instilled in them in their childhood. Some of the youth, especially the youth of today, they feel that ending their life is the only solution which they can which they can arrive out of the depression, out of the bullying, out of the love conflict what they are going through. But they fail to understand that life is a beautiful struggle and life is a powerful gift given by God. And human brain is such a strong thing. We as a social animal, we like to socialize with people. Now at the current stages where we feel that we have to maintain the social distancing, it goes against the rule of being a social animal. And we need to think in that direction, that what is best for us. We always think in that direction, that why we should get into these things, why we should get into this ugly matter, why we should care for this kind of people, why we should care for this a certain a weaker section of the society. The rich and the poor, the gap is going on widening each and every day, and we need to work towards to make it a better society to live. The biggest lie which was said to us in our childhood was that fame and money is equal to happiness, but it's not right. Moral support, the caring nature, someone that holds you and tells you what's your problem, what is bothering you, that creates a right being within us, and that is what is needed to our life, in our life. And to end today, I would just like to say that the more you share your things with others, the more we start counseling centers at the school level, the more of a youth will be developed and be able to go in the right path to success. Thank you very much.
नमस्कार आणि शुभेच्छा मंडळी. आज वक्तृत्व स्पर्धेत सादर करणारा माझा विषय आहे माझे कुटुंब माझी जबाबदारी. डेसमंड टुटू म्हणतात, आपण आपल्या कुटुंबाची निवड करत नाही, ते आपल्याला देवाकडून मिळालेली भेट आहे, जसे आपण त्यांच्यासाठी आहात. 17व्या शतकाच्या उत्तरार्धापर्यंत कुटुंबात केवळ नातेवाईक नसून त्यात घरातल्या नोकरांचा समावेश देखील होता. पण आज ही परिस्थिती बदललेली आहे. जागतिकीकरण आणि उदारीकरणामुळे एक पालक कुटुंब, अणुकुटुंब आणि असे अनेक प्रकारचे कुटुंब आपल्याला समाजात बघायला मिळतात. माझा उद्देश तुम्हाला कुटुंबाची व्याख्या समजून देण्याचा नव्हे, तर कुटुंब कसेही असो, कुटुंब म्हणून राहण्याची जबाबदारी मात्र प्रत्येक सदस्याची असते. प्रत्येक सदस्याची भूमिका, मग ती आई, वडील, बहीण, भाऊ ह्याहून खूप खोल आहे. माझ्या कुटुंबात मी कोण आहे ह्याच्याहून अधिक मी कशी आहे आणि माझ्या जबाबदाऱ्या काय आहेत हे ओळखून घेणं गरजेचं आहे. माझ्या कुटुंबात माझी जबाबदारी एक मुलगी होऊन अधिक एक विद्यार्थी आणि एक शिक्षक समान होण्याची जास्त आहे. उदाहरणार्थ, जेव्हा माझा भाऊ माझ्याकडून शिकतो तेव्हा तो माझा अनुयायी आणि मी त्याची शिक्षक ठरते. पण जर त्याच वेळी मी माझ्या पालकांकडून शिकत असेन तर ते माझे मार्गदर्शक आणि मी त्यांची विद्यार्थिनी ठरते. म्हणूनच तर कुटुंब हे समाजातील मूलभूत वर्तुळ आहे, ज्यात जबाबदाऱ्याच्या बाबतीत आपण एकमेकांवर अवलंबून आणि एकमेकांशी जोडलेले आहोत. 2020 आणि 21 हे केवळ भारतासाठीच नव्हे तर संपूर्ण जगासाठी संकटाचं चिन्ह बनून राहिलं आहे. आणि माझे कुटुंब माझी जबाबदारी ह्या विषयावर बोलत असताना माझ्या कुटुंबाची जबाबदारी माझी हे महाराष्ट्र सरकारने सुरू केलेल्या मोहिमेला विसरून चालणारच नाही. हे संसर्ग रोखण्यासाठी वापरलेलं एक तंत्र होतं. माझा सांगण्याचा उद्देश हाच की कुटुंबाची जबाबदारी हे केवळ कुटुंब प्रमुख किंवा कोणत्याही लिंगाशी संबंधित नसते. या महामारीच्या काळात माझी जबाबदारी माझ्या कुटुंबासाठी इतकीच आहे की मी सुरक्षित राहावे आणि त्यांना सुरक्षित ठेवावे. एक सुशिक्षित युवक असल्या कारणाने समाजात भीती पसरून न देणे आणि घरातल्या प्रौढ व्यक्तींना सचेत आणि सतर्क करणे. ह्या महामारीच्या काळात जगण्यासाठी लढली जाणारी लढाई आपल्या सर्वांना तर लढायचीच आहे. आणि म्हणतात ना, तक्रारी करून समस्या सोडवता येत नाहीत, पण जबाबदाऱ्या घेत त्या नक्कीच कमी करता येतात. आणि शेवटचं मात्र इतकंच बोलेन की चांगल्या गोष्टी त्यांना मिळतात जे वाट बघतात, अधिक चांगल्या गोष्टी त्यांना भेटतात जे प्रयत्न करतात, पण सर्वोत्तम गोष्ट त्यांना मिळतात जे आपल्या कुटुंबासमवेत कुटुंबाची जबाबदारी अटूट विश्वासाने पार पाडतात. आयुष्य अवघड आहे, पण अशक्य नक्कीच नाही. धन्यवाद.
माझे कुटुंब माझी जबाबदारी. माझे कुटुंब माझी जबाबदारी. पण खरोखरच आपल्याला आपल्या जबाबदारीची जाणीव आहे का? आज जग कोणत्या महाप्रसंगातून जात आहे? या महामारीतून वाचवण्यासाठी आपल्या प्रत्येकाचा सहभाग किती आहे? सरकार सतत योजना राबवत असतात. घरातच राहा, सुरक्षित राहा, मास्क घाला. पण ऐकतच कोण? आपला हा फाजील आत्मविश्वास किती लोकांच्या जीवावर वेधू शकतो याची आपणास कदाचित कल्पना नसेल. माझी प्रतिकारशक्ती उत्तम आहे, मला काय होणार, या विचाराने चालण्याची ही वेळ नाही. परवाचाच प्रसंग. गेले 1.5 वर्ष एका कुटुंबातील म्हातारे वडील घरीच होते, कुठेही बाहेर गेले नाही. परंतु घरातच त्यांना या संसर्गाची लागण झाली. आता प्रश्न असा उपस्थित झाला, हे जीवघेणे विषाणू त्यांच्यापर्यंत पोचलेच कसे? त्यांचा लाडका स्वतःला आरोग्यदायी समजून गावभर फिरला व या संसर्गाला निमंत्रण देऊन बसला. त्यातूनच वडिलांच्या मृत्यूला कारणीभूत ठरला. याला जबाबदार कोण? आई वडिलांची सेवा हीच खरी ईश्वर सेवा. पण फक्त त्याच्या या फाजील आत्मविश्वासामुळे आज कुटुंबावर मृत्यूचे सावट कोसळले. होय मित्रांनो, मी आणि माझे कुटुंब ही आपल्या प्रत्येकाची जबाबदारी आहे. कित्येक नर्सेस, डॉक्टर्स, आरोग्य कर्मचारी सतत माणसांचा जीव वाचवण्यासाठी झटत असतात. त्यांना आपण साथ द्यायलाच हवी. तूच आहे तुझ्या नियतीचा शिल्पकार. देवाने दिलेले जीवन एकदाच मिळते, ते फुलवणे आपल्या हातात असते. परिस्थिती बिकट आहे तेव्हा आपण प्रत्येकाने आपल्या स्वतःच्या कुटुंबांचाच विचार करायला हवा. प्रत्येक माणसाने आपल्या स्वतःच्या कुटुंबाची काळजी घेतली तर आपण या महामारीतून बचावले जाऊ व उद्याची मंगल पहाट आपण सर्वजण एकत्र मिळून पाहू शकू. आजपर्यंत समाजाने आपल्यासाठी बरंच काही केलेलं आहे, म्हणून आपण सर्वजण समाजाचे ऋणानुबंधू आहोत. म्हणून या काळात विषाणू पसरवणारे न होता आपण सर्व सतत व सावधान राहून आपले व सर्व समाजाचे संरक्षण करूया. चला तर सारे जण एकत्र मिळून निर्णय घेऊया. माझे कुटुंब माझी जबाबदारी. मी पाळतो सरकाराच्या साऱ्या अटी. निर्बंध चांगले माझ्याच माणसांसाठी, मीच संरक्षण माझ्या कुटुंबांसाठी. निर्णय करतो आज बेजबाबदार होणार नाही. राज्याचा मी सुज्ञ नागरिक. माझे कर्तव्य मोडणार नाही. त्रास होतो, कधी सारे नकोसे वाटते, पण मी हरणार नाही. करोनाच्या या लढ्यात मी मागे हटणार नाही. सारे एक होऊन लढू, करोनाचाच लढा जिंकू. माझे कुटुंब माझी जबाबदारी. अवघे विश्व करोना मुक्त होऊ.
नमस्कार, माझे नाव सानिया डॉमिनिक अल्मेडा. माझे विषय आहे माझे कुटुंब माझी जबाबदारी. कुटुंबाला जपूया, घेऊया खबरदारी. माझे कुटुंब माझी जबाबदारी. समाजात मनुष्य एकटा राहू शकत नाही, त्याला गरज असते ती एका कुटुंबाची. कुटुंब म्हणजे प्रेम, सहकार्य, सामंजस्य ह्यांचं संगम. प्रेमाने कुटुंब एकत्र राहतो, सहकार्याने एकमेकांजवळ येतो, समंजसपणाने आपुलकी निर्माण होते. कुटुंबात प्रत्येक व्यक्ती महत्त्वाची असते व प्रत्येक व्यक्तीला आपल्या कुटुंबाप्रती कोणती ना कोणती जबाबदारी असतेच असते. ती जबाबदारी पार पाडली की नक्कीच तो कुटुंब, तो समाज, तो देश सुखी, समाधानी व निरोगी होईल. आज आपल्या सगळ्यांपुढे एक मोठं भयानक असं कोरोनाचं संकट उभं आहे. जे दिवसेंदिवस वाढत आहे व संपूर्ण जग या संकटाचा सामना करीत आहे. ह्या संकटावर मात करण्यासाठी आपल्या भारत सरकारने अनेक असे उपाययोजना राबविले आहे व राबवती आहे. आरोग्य हीच संपत्ती हा सुविचार आपण लहानपणापासून ऐकत आलो आहोत. हा सुविचाराचा खरा अर्थ आज लोकांना पटवून देण्याची गरज निर्माण झाली आहे. ह्याचाच एक प्रयत्न म्हणून महाराष्ट्र सरकारने माझे कुटुंब माझी जबाबदारी ही मोहीम सुरू केली आहे. ही मोहीम प्रत्येक शहर, गाव, तालुका, वाडी, वस्तीत राबविण्यात आली आहे व आपण सर्वांना या मोहिमेत सहभागी व्हायचं आहे. कोरोना हा एक रात्रीच्या रोगाचा विषाणू असल्यामुळे एका व्यक्तीकडून दुसऱ्या व्यक्तीकडे तो वेगाने पसरत असतो. ह्या रोगामुळे आतापर्यंत अनेक लोकांचे मृत्यूही झाले आहे. ह्यामुळे हा एक चिंताजनक विषय बनला आहे. म्हणून प्रत्येक व्यक्तीस या काळात जबाबदारीने वागणे गरजेचे आहे. आपल्या देशाचे डॉक्टर्स, नर्सेस, आरोग्य कर्मचारी, पोलीस दिवस रात्र कोरोना विरुद्ध लढत आहे. तर मग आपणही या मोहिमेत सहभागी होऊन आपला खारीचा वाटा उचलायला हवा. भारताचे एक जबाबदार नागरिक होऊन आपण या मोहिमेत वैयक्तिक पातळीवर प्रयत्न करणे महत्त्वाचे आहे. या काळात आपणच आपल्या कुटुंबाचे आधारस्तंभ आहोत. म्हणून आपल्या कुटुंबाची काळजी घेणे गरजेचे आहे. आपण सरकारने केलेल्या नियमाचे पालन करणे आवश्यक आहे. जसे की बाहेरून आल्यावर आपले हात 20 ते 30 सेकंद स्वच्छ साबणाने धुणे, बाहेर जाताना मास्कचा वापर करणे, इतरांशी बोलताना योग्य तो अंतर ठेवून बोलणे इत्यादी सर्व नियम पाळून आपण आपल्या स्वतःची आणि आपल्या कुटुंबाची काळजी घेणे ही आपली जबाबदारी आहे. कोरोना विरुद्धचा लढा प्रत्येक व्यक्तीने वैयक्तिक पातळीवर प्रयत्न करणे गरजेचे ठरणार आहे. जर आपला महाराष्ट्र तसेच आपला भारत देश कोरोना विरुद्ध मुक्त करायचा असेल तर प्रत्येक नागरिकाने जागृत होणे व इतरांना जागृत करणे गरजेचे आहे. आरोग्य कर्मचारी तसेच सरकारचे अनेक कर्मचारी आपला जीव धोक्यात घालून या मोहिमेत सहभागी होत आहे. तर मग आपण आपल्या कुटुंबासाठी या मोहिमेत नक्कीच सहभागी होऊ शकतो. जेव्हा प्रत्येक व्यक्ती एक जबाबदार नागरिक होऊन सर्व नियमाचे पालन करेल आणि आपल्या स्वतःच्या आणि आपल्या कुटुंबाची काळजी घेईल तेव्हाच माझे कुटुंब आणि माझी जबाबदारी ह्या मोहिमेचे खरे सार्थक होईल. धन्यवाद.
Okay, so I request you all to please close your eyes and imagine the scenario I tell you. You're getting back home from a party. It might be a wedding function or your friend's birthday, whatever. You reached home, got fresh, sliding into bed, remembering all the happy moments you fall asleep. But let me tell you what a person with mental health disorder is going through. He might seem really happy at the party, but deep down, he is analyzing each and every situation which took place. Was I well dressed today? Did my opinions matter in that group? Why was the group staring at me? Were they judging me by my past? And so on. And these are like never-ending assumptions of the person. Hello, I'm Alessia, a recovering awkward person. Let me start with an interesting story about me. I have anxiety and it all began in grade 9th. But to be really honest, I wasn't aware about any of these terms of mental health. Things were quite changing in me. I started worrying a lot, overthinking, concentration went down, grades took a fall. And not just mentally but even physically, like shivering, panic attacks, breakdowns, increase in heartbeat rates, heavy breathing and so much more. But I decided to trust the process. In 11th grade, through social media, I got to know about mental health and that it includes different factors like depression, anxiety, stress, worry and so forth. Y'all can call it as cancers of mind. Today, around 43.8 million teenagers to be precise suffer from mental health illness disorder. That's quite a high number, right? But still we are so afraid to talk about it. Like, people aren't even aware about that. Increase in suicidal cases, more teenagers getting addicted to drugs, smoking and so much more. And the main issue is mental health crisis. We have ways to find out glucose level, to check the oxygen level. But what about mental health? Why don't we have ways to check elevated stress level? Parents should understand that their child is not restless just because he is using his cell phone. He has issues too, and that's a disorder. A 8th grade student should evenly know about mental health and he should understand that it's normal. Did you all know we celebrate Mental Health Illness Day on 10th October? Even I wasn't aware about it. Why isn't the public talking about this? If we don't take a stand today, if we don't spread awareness about it today, we might lose our close ones someday. Experts say that there is an impending mental health crisis to come over after COVID-19 situation, and it's normal, I guess, not just for teenagers but for everyone, because feelings are quite changing. There is routine breakdown, restrictions on movement, financial problems, increase in death rates, and so much more. A positive and good thing is that the experts who have later on changed their profession, like the therapists, are now providing services through social media platforms. We need more experts and therapists like this. As a person with anxiety, I can tell you that 99% of the problem is just in your head, whereas in reality the problem is just 1%. But it's a silent process. Like a person with depression can still laugh. A person with anxiety can still tell you stories and jokes. We need to identify that and we need to work on it. It's just a phase. To all the families and friends, care about your loved ones. Lend a ear to them. Listen to their problems. Motivate them in each and every way you can and be there for them. To all my friends who are victims of mental health, prioritize yourself about everyone and you're going to come out stronger. So now I believe that mental health awareness is a need of an hour.
आरोग्याबद्दल जागृती काळाची गरज. मित्र मैत्रिणींनो, 4 ऑक्टोबर ते 10 ऑक्टोबर जागतिक मानसिक आरोग्य सप्ताह आणि 10 ऑक्टोबर हा जागतिक मानसिक आरोग्य दिन म्हणून साजरा केला जातो. जागतिक मानसिक आरोग्य दिन व सप्ताह साजरा करायची अशी काय गरज आहे, हा प्रश्न माझ्या मनामध्ये निर्माण झाला आणि मग एक एक करून प्रसार माध्यमामार्फत ऐकलेल्या बातम्या नजरेसमोर येऊ लागल्या. प्रसिद्धीच्या अतिउच्च शिखरावर असताना नामी दिग्गज व कलाकारांनी केलेली आत्महत्या, कुणीतरी लिंग पिसाड वासनदानीने केलेले बलात्कार, प्रेमाला मान्यता न दिल्याने केलेले खून, पैशासाठी आत्मजनांची हत्या वगैरे वगैरे, या सर्व मागे कमकुवत मानसिकताच नाही का? सुप्रसिद्ध तत्वज्ञ प्लेटो यांच्या मते शरीर व मनाचे समन्वय म्हणजेच मानसिक आरोग्य. थोडक्यात मानसिक आरोग्य म्हणजे मनाचे आरोग्य. या मनाविषयी म्या पामराने काय म्हणावे? सुप्रसिद्ध कवयित्री म्हणतात, मन वढाय वढाय उभ्या पिकातली ढोर आहे इथे 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 गेले गेले वाऱ्यावर. अशा या नाटक्या मनाला लगाम घालणे म्हणजेच मानसिक आरोग्य जपणे होय. जागतिक आरोग्य संघटनेच्या मते प्रत्येक व्यक्तीने आपली क्षमता ओळखावी, त्या जोगे पुरेसे वागावे, दैनंदिन जीवनातील ताणतणाव हाताळू शकणे व समाजाला योग्य ते देऊ शकणे हेच मानसिक आरोग्य आहे. परंतु खेदाची गोष्ट अशी की मानसिक आरोग्याविषयी भारतीय समाज व शासन उदासीन आहे. जागतिक आरोग्य संघटनेच्या आव्हानानुसार 7 प्रतिबंध 5% इतकी लोकसंख्या मानसिक आरोग्याची शिकार आहे. याच्याविषयी लवकरात लवकर जर काही केले नाही तर येणारी पिढी कमकुवत मनाची, अहंकारी अशी असेल आणि त्याच्यामुळे होणाऱ्या दुष्परिणामाची कल्पनाही आपण केली नाही तीच बरी. असे म्हणतात ना की उपचारापेक्षा प्रतिबंध जास्त प्रभावी आहे. त्याच्यासाठी अगदी लहान लेकरांची मन जपणे महत्वाची आहे. पण खेदाची गोष्ट अशी की या आधुनिक काळातील, या धावपळीच्या काळातील आई वडिलांकडे आपल्या सानुल्यासाठी भरपूर पैसा आहे पण वेळच नाही. आजी आजोबा नाही पण पाळणा घरे, खेळणी घरे आहेत. खेळणी आहेत पण जिवंत माणसे नाहीत. जीव खाऊच्या गोष्टी सांगून घास भरवण्याऐवजी मोबाईलवर गाणे लावून, व्हिडिओ लावून घास भरवणे सोपे झाले आहे. दिवसातून 8 ते 10 तास घराबाहेर असलेल्या पालकांनी आपल्या सानुलेचे कसे पोषण करावे, त्याच्या मनाचे कसे पोषण करावे हे सर्वात महत्वाचा प्रश्न पडला आहे. आजच्या या काळात, आजच्या या युगात करोना विषाणूने सर्व ठिकाणी थैमान घातला आहे. लोक घाबरली आहेत. मानसिक आरोग्य धोक्यात आहे. तो वाचवला पाहिजे आणि तो वाचवण्यासाठी साहित्य वाचन, थोर व्यक्ती चरित्र वाचन, प्रसार माध्यमातून मिळणारी मूल्य जर या लहान मुलांच्या मनावर रुजवली तर येणारी पिढी सक्षम, स्वावलंबी, प्रत्येक गोष्टीला उभी राहून खंबीरपणे सामोरे जाणारी अशी असेल. आणि सर्वात महत्वाची मानसिक आरोग्याविषयी प्रचार करणे. जेव्हा जागरूकता वाढेल तेव्हा लोक स्वतःहून आपली समस्या स्वतःहून पूर्ण करू शकतील. इतकेच नव्हे तर येणारी पिढी आपल्या समाजाचे, कुटुंबाची आणि देशाची कर्तव्याची जाणीव असेल. आणि इतकेच नव्हे तर शरीराने आणि मनाने गंभीर व सक्षम असेल. धन्यवाद.
Mental health awareness, the need of the hour. In these times of the pandemic, it's important to speak about mental health. It's important to be aware of these problems. People out there are going crazy. Crazy. It's a scary word, you see. Because when it comes to physical ailments like fever or chickenpox, we don't feel shy about mentioning those. But if it is something like depression or anxiety, or if we have to say that someone in the family is taking therapy, people go like, shh. That's something that's always shh. Why, I ask? Why is it that we cannot speak about these problems just like we speak about fever? Why is it that we find it shameful to accept these problems? For instance, if you have fever, you would go to the doctor, tell your symptoms, and doctor would give you medications accordingly. But if you have depression, if you feel you're too stressed, you somewhere hesitate to accept it. And it's not just you. We as a society find it embarrassing or shameful to accept that we have depression, to accept that we need therapy. It's important to take care of our mental health just as it is to take care of our physical health. It's important to treat mental health on time just like we would for fever, cold or cough. Why is it that when you feel overwhelmed, when you feel stressed, when you feel that the burden is just too much, when you feel that it's just an unending dark night, when you feel that you cannot see the light at the end of this dark tunnel, wait, sit back, breathe, and accept that you need help. This one tiny acceptance will make a big change. All it takes is to find a proper therapist, anyone you're comfortable with, and speak out. Speak about your problems, speak about what's stressing you. And it's not just you and me who's stressed. It's not just specific to one person or one age group, because today it's been more than 1 year in the pandemic, and each and every person, irrespective of the age, be it a school going kid or a working adult or a retired person, everyone is facing some or the other problem. But we're just too embarrassed, or I must say we just don't categorize these problems as something that needs to be diagnosed. These are tough times. The poverty, the unemployment, the pandemic. We need to take a stand here. We need to accept these problems. Don't be hard on yourself. The darkest hour of the night is just before the dawn. If you feel you need help, accept it, because there's someone out there who cares and who will listen to what you have to say. Thank you.
नमस्कार, मी कुमारी ॲलिन डिकॉस्टा व आज मी ऑनलाईन शिक्षणाची परिणामकारकता ह्या विषयावर काही बोलणार आहे. गुरु ब्रह्मा, गुरु विष्णू, गुरुदेव महेश्वरा, गुरु साक्षात परब्रह्मे, तस्मै गुरुदेवो नमः. या 2 ओळीतून आपल्याला गुरुचे विद्यार्थी जीवनातील स्थान कळून येते. गुरुचे स्थान हे देवाच्या स्थानाएवढे पवित्र आहे. कोणत्याही विद्यार्थ्याला शिक्षण अवगत करण्यासाठी गुरुची आवश्यकता असते. शिक्षकाशिवाय विद्यार्थी अपूर्ण असतो. आज आपण कोरोनाच्या महायुद्धातून जात आहोत आणि अशा वेळी मानवी संरक्षण हा विषय समोर येतो आणि ह्या परिस्थितीत विद्यार्थ्यांनी शिक्षणाला जुळून राहावे म्हणून शाळा व सरकार अनेक असे उपक्रम राबवत आहेत. त्यातील एक उपक्रम म्हणजे ऑनलाईन एज्युकेशन. मी तर म्हणेन श्रीमंत लोकांचं शिक्षण. कधी स्वप्नातही वाटलं नव्हतं की मी माझ्या शिक्षकाशी संगणकाद्वारे वार्तालाप करेन. नेहमी मोबाईलसाठी नाही म्हणणारे बाबा आज हातात मोबाईल देऊन म्हणाले यशस्वी हो. कमाल आहे. पण या ऑनलाईनच्या जगात भावना मरून चालल्या आहेत. शिक्षक येतो 1 तासासाठी, मुलंही येतात, ऐकतात, पाहतात व निघून जातात. शिक्षण ऑनलाईन असल्यामुळे आपण घरी बसल्या खूप असं शिक्षण संपादन करू शकतो. तसेच प्रतिष्ठित, सुज्ञ व निरनिराळ्या नवीन विचारांची देवाणघेवाण होत आहे. तसेच अनेक व्हिडिओज यूट्यूबवर उपलब्ध असल्यामुळे एखादा कॉन्सेप्ट शिकण्यास मजा येत आहे. त्याचबरोबर धार्मिक प्रवचनही ऑनलाईन उपलब्ध असल्यामुळे वयोवृद्ध लोकांची धार्मिकता जपली जात आहे. शिक्षण ऑनलाईन असल्यामुळे विद्यार्थी शिक्षणाला नाही म्हणू शकत नाही, कारण परीक्षाही ऑनलाईन होतात, पेपरही ऑनलाईन तपासले जातात व रिझल्टही ऑनलाईन येतो. त्यामुळे विद्यार्थी वेळेचा सदुपयोग करण्यास शिकत आहेत. त्याचबरोबर दप्तराचं ओझं नाही, सकाळी लवकर उठावं लागेल म्हणून मनाचे दडपण नाही, घरी बसल्या नोट मिळतात त्यामुळे मनाचेही दडपण नाही. पण मला एक प्रश्न आहे, काय हे शिक्षण? हे शिक्षण सर्वांना परवडणारं आहे का? मी म्हणेन नाही. खूप असे गरीब, हातावर कमावणारे मजदूर आहेत, त्यांना हे शिक्षण परवडणारच नाही. त्यामुळे आज 60% विद्यार्थी शिक्षणापासून दूर गेले आहेत. त्याचबरोबर हातात मोबाईल आल्यामुळे अनेक दुसरे मार्ग सुद्धा उत्पन्न झाले आहेत. वेगवेगळे खेळ खेळले जात आहेत, पैसे कमावले जात आहेत, खोटं बोललं जात आहे, अश्लील चित्रपटही पाहिले जात आहेत. अनेक अशा लोभांना आज विद्यार्थी बळी पडत आहे. विद्यार्थ्यांशी बाहेरच्या जगाशी संबंध तुटत चालला आहे. विद्यार्थी एक एकलकोंडं जीवन जगत आहे. मी तर म्हणेन एखादा कॉन्सेप्ट जर वाचून त्यावर चर्चा करून सुटत असेल तर ऑनलाईनचा मार्ग निवडू नये. आपण सुशिक्षित, सुज्ञ, सुसंस्कृत आहोत. आपल्याला चांगला व वाईट यातील फरक कळतो. आपल्याला माहीत आहे की चांगल्या गोष्टींनी आपली वृद्धी होते, परंतु वाईट गोष्टींमुळे आपल्याला शारीरिक, मानसिक व आध्यात्मिक हानी होते व ते बदलण्यासाठी आपल्याला वर्ष, कधी कधी दिवस, महिनेही लागतात. म्हणून आपण स्वतः बदलूया व इतरांना बदलण्याचा प्रयत्न करूया. शिक्षण चांगले आहे, त्याला बदलू नका. विचार चांगले करा, जग आपोआप बदलेल. धन्यवाद.
Hello all, I'm Dinah Fernandez and today I'm going to share my views on the topic Mental Health Awareness, Need of the Hour. Whenever we come across the term mental health, we often come across these 3 terms always associated with it: taboo, depression, suicide. But there is so much more of a broader insight to it, which frankly I think most of us are not aware of. Just like our body tends to feel unhealthy at times, so does our brain feel unhealthy at times. Now, our body can feel unhealthy because of many factors like change of climate or something that we ate, a virus, or maybe an accident. Similarly, there are many factors which affects our mental health. Depression is a type of mental illness that affects our mental health. So is bipolar disorder, anxiety disorder, PTSD, OCD, and so many others, phobia, and so many other phobias as well. So why do we need mental health awareness? Well, to answer this question, I thought of looking up on the internet for some statistics and all, but then I realized hardly anybody pays attention to statistics. I think nobody even remembers it. So the answer to this question is, instead of some random statistics, yes, that there are many people who still cannot digest the fact of mental health, of course. But other than that, people like you and me, who are even aware of such concepts, fail to realize that the person who is sitting next to us is going through something as well. Maybe they are someone from our family, someone from our friend circle, or somebody that we know. They suddenly start exhibiting signs of being alone or some mood swings, and we think that that is okay. No, it is normal. We leave them for some time and they'll be okay. This is why we need mental health awareness, because we have normalized mental health in a very wrong way. Instead of leaving them alone, go talk to them. They can feel better. This can be possible if the person is someone who is close to us. But what about the person who we do not know or are remotely not related to us? Internet is a very good example for this. Often we see people sharing or opening themselves up when they are feeling low with the hope of feeling better. But instead, what do they get? Memes and trolls. Well, our generation is very, very insensitive. If we see a school-going kid post about their emotions on internet, the comments are just like, why are you sad? Mummy ne aaj Ben 10 dekhne nahi diya kya? Why? Aren't they meant to feel emotions? Why can't we acknowledge them? If we behave the same way, then what is the difference between us and those older generations who think that mental health is a taboo? Just leaving this question right here. May month is considered to be Mental Health Awareness Month. And considering this as a platform to express myself today, I'd like to say this, that let's carry on this mental health awareness motto, not just for 1 month, but for all the 12 months, 365 days of the year. That's it. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much for your time.
Life is like a roller coaster. It has ups and downs, but it's your choice to scream or to enjoy the ride. Good day, folks. I'm Nesia Carvalho, and today I'm going to talk about implications of online education. While people across the globe were having a sail through the roller coaster smoothly, there came a twist called COVID-19 pandemic, due to which life took a U-turn. The world was at pause, people were quarantined, there was huge loss of life which led to staggering impact on online education. The pandemic resulted into major implications on the way education is being imparted to the students. As a result of which, educational institutions came up with an alternative of online learning. Considering this new form of education, the entire system had to be revoked. To undergo these changes, there were major implications on students as well as teachers, as they needed a peripheral device like smartphone or a laptop, computers, so on. At the same time, having a device wouldn't suffice the need because the devices need internet connection to be able to connect to a common platform. It is quite challenging for teachers to get used to interface of online tools like Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Google Classrooms, etc. Interrupted power supply, weak internet connectivity, and unaffordability to buy devices are major concerns to the students. To deal with these issues, classes in many places are happening via sharing of videos over WhatsApp or YouTube, so that students can watch them at their convenience. This too, however, becomes a difficulty in understanding the lessons and promotes rote learning. It has brought education to us without us going anywhere, and it is more flexible. So folks, let's embrace this change and build a better future for ourselves and contribute to brighter India, because even after a year into the pandemic, there is a lot of uncertainty looming over. Good vision, sincere efforts and time will show India the way ahead. Together we can. Thank you.
For elocution competition, we have chosen the best 4 speakers. The winners are Millicent Pereira from Jyoti Parish, Sarah Dodti from Nirmal Parish,
Nesia Carvalho from Sandor Parish and Diana Fernandez from Nalasopara West. Congratulations to all the winners.